I'm pretty sure there's some people that's gonna hear this and be like, nah, y'all tripping. Hey, put it in the comments. And we can definitely rehash this.
Right.
We can discuss it in the comments and we can talk about this topic more. And if it's somebody who's really passionate about it and really feels like they can bring some understanding to this, then contact us. Go to webig at email.com, WEBIG at email.com. Send us a message and how to contact you. And we can contact you and we can discuss this on the show in further detail and try to bring some clarity to it. Yeah, so the question being, do we really keep the Shabbat feast days, etc. the law? Are we really keeping the law? Are we, you know what I'm saying? What exactly are we doing with this? We saying we keeping the Shabbat, we keeping the feast days. Um, are we really doing that? That's what I'm asking the question.
Yeah, I know for me, the feast days, I would say definitely not. And I say that because if we're missing a sacrificial aspect of it, then, you know, clearly we're not keeping it completely. And if you're not keeping it completely, then technically are you keeping it? You know what I'm saying? And also the aspects of, many of us on these particular days, we still work and do things that nature. So on the feast day aspect, I say definitely say no. This Shabbat, I think, is a 50-50 gray, a 50-50 situation because I do feel like on the aspect of you resting and not doing labor, that's okay. But if you were to line it up with some of the writings of what they did back in the day and how extreme they were, if that was a standard, and I'm not sure if it was or wasn't, then I would say no. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because some like back then it was extremely strict and like extreme, like to the point of you not even reaching down to the ground and pick up a penny, like that degree of not doing
Well,
any labor. You know what I'm saying?
at what point was it that strict?
So when you go back and read certain texts like jubilees and stuff like that, um, it kind of goes into how
Yeah, not carrying a
extreme, like,
burden from house to house.
yeah, like different things, not lighting a fire, um, not preparing your food the day before,
Right. Well, I mean,
not
yeah.
going a certain distance, and not even. I think there was a verse that talks about like not even picking something up this small off of the ground. I can't remember the exact wording, but because I haven't read it in a long time, but I would need to go back and look at it. But it was something very small. Like, but the overall point was just like this is what a Sabbath day is like. And I'm like, man, this is like if this is a standard, if, and I say if because like me and extra biblical texts, I always um lean more so toward what's actually in the canonized Torah, um, whether it's Septuagint or Masoretic text, however you want to, side with that. I always look at those texts first before I look at anything else and say, yeah, this is a standard. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, if that was a standard, then today many of us wouldn't be up to par with that. I mean, even in if you're looking at how some Jewish people keep it, like these people be so extreme with it, man. They don't even get on elevators during the time. They don't like turn on
I,
the light.
they don't get on elevators.
Yeah, some of them will get on the elevator and have somebody else press a button for them.
Oh,
If you go to certain communities in the U.S., you might hear house alarms going on for 24 hours or however long because these people won't even press the buttons on the alarm to turn it off during that time. Like for the keeping part of not
so,
kindling fire and all of the other stuff. Like so,
so
like
they
there.
just lay in bed still the whole time.
I wouldn't say they lay in bed still all the time, but like they're just certain things like that. For example, with not turning on the light, not pressing buttons on the alarm thing because it's using electricity and all the other stuff. Like going to that extreme of keeping it. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's a very it's a very interesting question you ask. But the feast days, I say a definite no, definite.
right. So yeah, cause well, I'm thinking about this, right? I'm saying, okay, we're not keeping the feast days, we're not keeping the Sabbath, we're not keeping the law according to the Torah. So then, what are we doing?
Right.
You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
good
Because
question.
someone would argue, I do keep the law, I follow the law, yeah, but not according to Torah, because it's so many things that are just not even available, you know,
Right.
for us to keep the law according to Torah. So then you ask the question, what are we doing? You know, we keep
That's a good
when we're
question.
keeping these feast days, what's the point? What's the purpose if we're not doing it according to the law?